whisper video, Soothing Sounds by Pearl. Taking it easy right now. Got a healthy chicken dinner with broccoli, carrots, and mushrooms. Nice healthy meal. It's been kind of a strange day. I think I mentioned this in one of my previous videos, but I think a lot of times I jinx myself just by acknowledging things and trying to be grateful and thankful out loud. Yeah, I don't know. That's the only explanation I really have, because in my last video, the breakfast video, I had said how great of a day I had on Monday. You know, going hiking and going to the gym and having no issues at all. And it's true, I mean, Monday was a really great day. I filmed that video, the breakfast video, on Tuesday morning. So it was literally the next day, and I mentioned in the video that I'm getting ready to go for a hike and all that stuff and yada yada. Well, I had myself a major panic attack in the woods again, and I'm still like not recovering, but like I don't feel right even right now. Like I haven't felt right since, and it's been tough because it was very just very, very intense and very akin to, as it always is recently, having a heart attack. And I don't know if it's just because, like, I'm filming this Tuesday night right now. You're seeing this on Thursday, but it's Tuesday night here I'm filming. So it's the same day. And I'm just, like I said, I'm having kind of a tough time because it shook me hard, and it was the fact that, like, nothing I did stopped it or helped or did anything. It was basically something that normally used to give me more anxiety, which was seeing other people out there hiking. That's actually what brought me down enough to be able to continue the hike. And now, I don't know if it's because I was out in the cold for a bulk of the day and all the driving I did to get to the park and going to the city first and driving all the way back, but I just feel really tired. I feel kind of beat. And it's bothering me because I feel like more tired than I should feel. But it's probably because of the anxiety, most likely. It's been a while since it's the city, I could feel my chest was kind of tight, and my hand was like pulsing, and it just felt like somebody, like it's felt in the past, like somebody had a rubber band around my wrist and was cutting off the circulation in my hand. And I just kind of was like, alright, whatever, I guess I'm having an off day, and the anxiety's kind of back. So I knew something was up, because I just didn't feel right. I could kind of feel a tightness in my throat, and it didn't feel right. And I was debating getting the coffee. I was like, this is gonna make me feel worse, but it might not, blah, blah, blah. So I go to the city, and I'm sitting in the car, and my stomach starts to act up, and I'm like, okay, yeah, this is anxiety, because my stomach was fine before we got into the city, and for some reason, even though I drive to the city almost every week, for some reason it like acts up when I get to like one particular spot in the city. So I'm sitting outside of the cafe, and I'm like, okay, this is anxiety. I just need to nut up and go in there and get my coffee and enjoy my day. So I actually felt kind of comforted after that, and we walked around a couple blocks, and I had about, like a quarter of the coffee drink. I decided to get a cold coffee today, and I actually felt fine. My chest felt fine, my stomach felt fine, everything was normal. So, from the city we went to the park, and it's like a 30-minute drive. So, we get to the park, and I feel fine, like I'm actually in really good spirits. My mood's up, and I've got plenty of energy, and we start hiking, and, I feel pretty good. So, we start, there's 2 or 3 hills, and the thing is, you have to kind of understand my mind works in this strange way, and this is where I know I screwed up, because, last night, I was scrolling TikTok, as I've been trying to not do, and I was scrolling, and I came across a video of a doctor giving, tips on what to actually expect or look out for, and it just, it's one of those things that comes across your algorithm, so it must be fake. This doctor's giving, advice about what to do if you are experiencing these symptoms, or what an actual heart attack feels like. And I know my symptoms very, very well. But I also know in the last 8 or 9 years, I've had anxiety and panic attacks so intense that if I told a doctor what I was experiencing, they would be like, oh my god, we need to get you hooked up to something now and check your heart, blah, blah, blah. But the doctor was saying, I'm not going to go into the details, because I don't want to put this out there. I don't want to put that energy out there for other people who might be in my situation, and to hear it and go, oh, that's I'm experiencing that, so that must be it. But I normally have vague, my chest pains are pretty vague, in the sense that, they kind of go all over the place. They're not localized to one area, and I'll get tingling and numbness and whatever in my arm, and I'll have pain here and there that kind of moves around. But we're going up this hill, one of 3 or 4 big hills, before we get to a part where it levels off. And this park has multiple different switchbacks and trails you can take. And we starts sending signals like, uh-oh, red alert, something's going wrong. And then my mind starts thinking like, why am I having such a hard time? Why is this so strenuous all of a sudden? And then, like, I forget. It just, like, it doesn't even come to it. I can't rationalize with myself that there have been times I've been hiking and I could literally feel and hear my heartbeat throughout my whole body. Boom, 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 boom. Or I'll start sweating, or my scalp will get itchy if it's cold out and I'm hot from hiking. anxiety since I was like 16, so half my life basically. And it's not easier, but it's like I've seen this movie before, but the mental part is the part that I can't handle. So if I can just start to think of these panic attacks as like a cold or something that just comes and it passes, you just gotta let it do its thing and it'll pass, just ride the wave. It's not dangerous. It feels uncomfortable, but it's not dangerous. It's so